Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're glad you're here. And we're looking forward to having a good show tonight. We have psychic medium extraordinaire Annie Larson. And of course, I am surrounded by my cast of misfits. I'll have Brenda, Dina, Bobby, and I don't know, some other people might show up. In the meantime, I want to drop in this little video real quick.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I'm Miranda Maverick, and when I'm in fight camp, I never listen to the Sportcat podcast.
Oh, we love some Miranda. Thanks again for doing that. That's a great intro. We love it. We're going to have some more of that from our celebrity guests. Let's see who all I got back here. I have the wonderful Miss Brenda. Don't make fun of her today. She's not feeling well, but she's still here. And the wonderful and beautiful Dina.
Hello.
And I got a Dizzle Master hidden back here somewhere. And if you guys are ready, we'll bring in the guest. Y'all ready?
The song gets me crunk, man. I'm sorry.
Ready.
I know. Well, you want me to send it? I got to figure out what button I'm pushing to do this.
Crunk every time.
Like that.
Every time.
I'll just send it to you then. All right,
What?
where's Annie?
What?
Annie's backstage somewhere. There she is. I don't know how I did that. Annie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for
I'll
having
figure all
me.
these buttons out. All right, there we go. So, Annie, I'm introduced you, but I'm sure that you could do a much better job than I can. So, why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
So I'm Annie Larson, and I'm a psychic medium. I have an office in Sterling, Virginia. And on top of being a psychic medium, I'm also a Reiki master teacher. I'm a certified Hellenistic astrologer, and I also am certified through Brian Weiss through past life regression therapy. And I do some other things on top of all of that. I'm a yogi and practice wonderful things like meditation and yoga.
Cool.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you got your hands full there. So,
Yeah, you're a busy lady.
So, Annie, we before the show, you and I were talking about it. We were having some computer problems, so
Annie's got haints on her.
yeah, we're hoping that it all goes well. But I just want to warn everybody a little bit in advance in case, I don't know, our computers collapse or something. It's all Annie's fault. So, no, I'm just kidding you.
I'm having a Reiki lady on tomorrow as well. So just
Are
remember that.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's cool.
It keeps getting rescheduled, so I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
Wow, you should have got Annie. I'm sure she's much better. So.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I don't understand Reiki exactly. What is that?
So Reiki is an alternative and complementary medicine. It's energy therapy medicine where the Reiki practitioner channels the energy of Reiki, which is the life force energy, to a client when they come for a healing session. And so it's a process that we do that's you're fully clothed and it's hands-on, and we channel to help bring your body back into balance, bringing it back into homeostasis, because we know that what causes dis-ease is when your body is out of balance.
Okay.
This
That's
is
true.
I've
This
never
is true.
broken that word down before.
You haven't?
No.
Oh my goodness, Bobby.
Oh, that's
Oh,
like the
the
opposite of
EMT class
disgruntled is
101.
gruntled.
Yeah.
So you can be a gruntled employee. Be very happy with
When
your
you're
job.
happy.
I'm very gruntled right now.
Well, maybe that'll be your new nickname.
Yeah.
Gruntled? I'm not gruntled. I am
Bobby.
disgruntled.
We already have a question. Before we get too far off, we'll answer the question there. Billy Rayleigh in Facebook asked, does everyone have a past life? That's a good question.
So I do believe that we not only have a past life, but that we have many past lives. And if we look at Earth as a place of learning, this is the place where we come to work out the things that we need to work out in this lifetime to go back to maybe source, whatever you consider source to be, forever. So past lives, typically, most of us have many hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of past lives that they live.
Wow. That's a lot.
Are you
What a
wanting
lot.
to get somewhere else, or is it like, I mean, if you keep coming back that many times, were you doing something really bad, or is that just the way it is?
I don't think there's a bad or good when you talk about reincarnating and coming back into the circle of life. I think it's lessons that you need to learn for your soul to grow.
That's what I
So
think.
it's karma. And when we talk about karma, it's not good or bad. Karma is actually a Sanskrit word that means actions. What actions have you taken? And sometimes when we come back into a lifetime, we come back to help others on their path rather than us experiencing our own path. We're there to maybe help others grow. So I think there's a lot of reasons why people come back to lifetimes to experience things.
What about
Okay.
that principle of
I agree
of
with that.
one, to where everybody's the same person? You know what I'm talking about?
Where everyone is the same person?
Yeah, you're the same person living different lives.
Oh,
Yeah.
that you're living simultaneous
Mhm.
lifetimes while you're on Earth.
Hmm.
I believe that's possible. You know, if we look at the space-time continuum
Yeah.
Mhm.
and that we're multidimensional beings, absolutely. I think Einstein proved that we can live multiple lifetimes at
Mhm.
once, and in fact, live multiple lifetimes even on Earth.
Yeah. That's not the same as being one person, right? It's just
I don't think
being
I
one
agree with
linear soul,
Yeah,
right?
it's called the principle of one or something. And when you die, you get into another body, but you're you're bouncing back and forth so fast that you're the only being that's encompassing all these bodies, but you live in different
Oh, I
lifetimes.
absolutely agree with that.
Really?
I thought you were talking about that we as the collective sitting here talking to one another are one person.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I'll
So
have to look it up. I saw it on TikTok.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
legit,
Lord.
scientifically
if you
proven.
talk about if you talk about who you are, you know, we have a soul, our higher self that guides us, and we have one soul. And that one soul reincarnates many times. So this lifetime I'm here, you know, doing my thing as a psychic medium and having my family and my kids in this experience. But my most remembered past life, or my most recent past life, for me, I was a woman in the 1950s with 3 children, married, and I think I'm in or around New York. I've never found it, but I had reoccurring dreams as a child that I could never quite figure out. And I knew where I lived, who I was married to, what my name was, and how I ended my life. And so we have these rememberings. And if you look at a lot of these past lives too, they've been written about a lot, um, about people having their rememberings of past
Mhm.
lives. I kind of think it's unfortunate, though, to have those rememberings because I find it a bit confusing. And I think it's really confusing for people trying to live or remember both lives here. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Yes.
Hmm.
it does.
I would like to know, how do you find out what your past lives are? Is it like a hypnotization process, or?
Well, there's a couple ways that I guess you could look at past lives. I know a lot of people that go in and look at the Akashic records, where there's this book of life that people can access and look at past lives that way. But for me, I like people to experience their past lives for themselves. So you're
Mhm.
right, I'm using forms of hypnotism to bring people to a space, a deep meditative state, so that they can then use their imagining and remember a past life.
Okay.
Okay.
D- do you think that we carry on like fears or um, trauma from past lives?
Absolutely.
And
For me, there's no question.
yeah,
I
so
mean, For myself, I know that I have probably spent a few past lives where I have been involved in like tsunamis and stuff. I have a death fear of the ocean. It doesn't stop me from going in it,
Right.
but I definitely have this phobia that I don't know where it comes from. And the other thing that I see on people is when they come into this lifetime with birthmarks.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think some of those birthmarks are actually like battle wounds or maybe ways that people died in past lives. So I think not only emotionally and remembering, but also physically, we bring in things into
Okay.
this lifetime.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it
Man.
does.
Poor Drew Brees, man. He got knocked in the head. All I'm
Drew?
thinking about Drew Brees, the quarterback for the Saints. He's got
Interestingly
a big.
enough, I actually know Drew. And yeah,
Oh,
are you talking about the birthmark on his face?
Yeah, he's got one right here, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Drew
think
Bre-
he's mostly had it removed. Yeah, there
oh,
Oh, yeah.
probably is something to that birthmark because I met him when he was a rookie, and
Mhm.
it was pretty big back then. But I
Oh.
think he's had it most of his life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not very noticeable anymore. I just have to
right.
remember it.
Yeah, I think he's had it. I think he's had it removed. I don't want to.
He was just
What
messing.
is Annie
He's a
doing?
nut.
That's an odd coincidence that you remember that and she knows him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Get Drew
I
Brees on the phone.
I happened to live in between two Redskins many
Oh,
years ago, and when they moved out to San Diego, it was Drew's first rookie year in San Diego, and so that's how I met him. It's
Hmm.
not like we're buddies and I know him.
yeah,
I met him and spent a couple an evening or two at parties.
that's cool.
That's cool.
Now, let's see. Billy asks, so knowing your ancestry DNA, would that give you a clue to what your past
not.
life could have been? And Billy's firing up some serious questions
Yeah.
here tonight.
I like that question a lot, but I'm not really sure that DNA ties to past lives. And I don't know how I could prove or disprove that.
Sure.
But for me, some of my rememberings, I don't think like my DNA, I'm mostly Scandinavian. And my past lives, I don't really have, like, I'm not having Viking rememberings. One of my past lives, I have a Native American remembrance being a shaman, which the medicine person cast out of the tribe, living away, which would be where medicine people would be. So it's a great question, but I don't know how much our DNA has to do with past lives. But I'm going to think about that one a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Brenda, go ahead. You started a second ago.
Bless you.
Sorry, you got to me right when I decided to start coughing. So, you said you give you have some kind of a seminar or something coming up about the past life regressions. Is that correct?
I'm actually doing a retreat, not this weekend, but next
Okay.
weekend, and it actually is intuitive and psychic development. It's a 4-day retreat in the mountains. I do
Okay.
past life regressions typically in my office, or sometimes I'll do group ones where people ask me to come to their home and do like a massive past life regression with a group.
Now, when you do those for the psychic stuff, is it just like you get a group of people together and you guys go someplace and sit and try to enhance abilities, or
So
what do you do there?
I've actually partnered with Pathways Productions, which has a beautiful space in the mountains to do retreats. And it's whoever is called to do it. But it really is taking people in a 4-day intensive. And in fact, this one is over the solar eclipse on Saturday, October 14th.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be
Nice.
really, really powerful. It's a solar eclipse in Libra. But I'll take people through how to heighten their intuition, because I believe we're all intuitive. How
We are.
to develop your intuitive skills. And then I believe once you're a really well-developed intuitive, then you'll start noticing you get stuff for other people and you almost can't help it. And that's what I call into that psychic realm where you're getting stuff for other people.
Yeah. I have a lot of that I have to work on. Medium, I got that down packed. They bother me all the time. But
Well,
all
you
the
know,
other stuff I really need to work on.
it's interesting because I'm a medium, and mediums talk to loved ones on the other side, where psychics are really just reading the energy of the person.
Right.
So for me, the better the intuitive and psychic that you are, the better the medium you'll be. So I always encourage people to go through an intuitive development, a psychic development, and then the mediumship. I actually have a retreat coming up in May, in the middle of May, for a 4-day intensive on developing mediumship skills.
Oh,
Cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Where's that one?
So it's a space right outside of Charlottesville, Virginia, in the
Okay.
Shenandoah Mountains. So it's a very secluded. We're on 34 acres. In the fall, the mountains will be ablaze.
Oh, yeah.
The leaves
Beautiful.
changing color. And it's just a nice way for people to take a pause because we have an in-house massage person. So, and the food is all done. There's a chef there who does farm to table food. So it's kind of this
Nice.
really
Yeah.
comfortable, I wouldn't say luxury. It's not like the Ritz, but it's just a really comfortable space
Yeah.
to hold retreats. And I actually have another one coming up in June 2024 having to do with healing, where people will leave with a Reiki 1 certification. And if
Oh,
they happen to be a yoga teacher, I'm offering, I've set up with Yoga Alliance to offer some continuing education that's for that.
okay. That's nice.
Yes.
A lot
Very
of
nice.
work there.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize yoga had CEU points.
Well,
Yeah.
Yoga Alliance is who I'm registered through. I'm a 500-hour yoga teacher. It's an advanced yoga teacher. And we have to keep up our certification by doing study, and we have to teach so many hours, and we have to continue our education, or else they won't recertify us. So you have to do this every 3 years. So yoga teachers are always looking for ways to keep their certification.
That yoga's magic. I had such a bad case of sciatica beginning of this year, and I started doing. I don't want to disrespect you, but I started doing Diamond Dallas Page yoga.
It's fine.
And-
He's done wonders. I love what he's done.
It cured it. It cured it that effing day.
Yeah,
Really?
I've been trying to tell people who are going into like back surgeries and all these things, I'm like, come to yoga. Not only is it incredibly zen and peaceful, but also, when we're doing asanas, which are the poses, we are realigning our bodies. Not only are we realigning them, our skeletal bodies, but we're also realigning our own balance, our energy balances.
That's what I need to do.
Now, yeah. Now, how would that work for somebody like me?
So you
I'm
have to tell
missing
me.
a leg. I'm in a wheelchair. So it's a little rough.
No, I understand. And we in yoga, we always want to meet you where you are.
Mhm.
It's not about, like on TikTok and stuff, you see these people doing these yoga poses.
Yeah.
And some of them I can't do.
Yes.
They're
The
insanity.
legs overhead.
And I'm like, you want to draw people to yoga, quit doing headstands and handstands, because
Right.
well, I believe in inversions, which is, kind of resetting yourself, doing an inversion. There's other ways to do it, like just going into down dog is an inversion, and it's pretty simple for people to do. But you being in a wheelchair, I would strongly encourage you to find chair yoga, because
DDP, baby.
yeah, chair yoga it will meet you where you are in a chair,
Right.
and then it's
Ring
you'll
light.
move your body in ways, and then you'll get that peaceful relaxation and shavasana that we're all looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Diamond Dallas Page yoga is the wrestler made. Somebody was
Yeah,
asking in the chat.
I've read all about
Oh,
him.
okay.
Yeah.
He's been
Somebody
fabulous.
was-
You
yeah,
know,
it's
he was
incredible.
almost crippled.
Yeah.
but it's like a real extreme. I guess it's kind of funny to watch too because he makes jokes. But
Well,
hey, it worked.
he did, didn't he? Didn't he have an accident that did almost leave him crippled?
He did it for Jake the Snake.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was him too. I don't know. I'm speaking out of
I
turn.
don't know.
You know, to me, yoga is whatever gets you to the mat and whatever you can access and whatever brings you to that space, to that still point.
Ooh,
I'm all for it.
yeah.
You know, I could learn mat yoga because as many times as I fall out of my wheelchair, I
Yeah,
might
you
as well
really
do
could.
something while I'm down there waiting for somebody to help me up. So that would be a good idea too.
Well, he's got
Yeah.
programs if you're bedridden, if you're chair ridden, like you were saying, chair
Oh,
yoga. So he's got everything from like if you can't move to like I almost started with the chair when I had sciatica, but didn't it fixed it that day. I was like I am crippled at 39. I am going to die.
I'm
oh
sorry.
my goodness.
Oh,
I will say with yoga, I do bed yoga before I go to sleep. I do yoga when I wake up, and it's not extreme. It's stretches. It's just it's meeting the day. And then when I'm in the shower, I
Okay.
am actually doing certain poses in the
That's
shower to help with my back and things like that. I do squats and stuff, things that will keep me moving for the rest of my life. Fingers crossed.
That would
Could not believe
fall
the
out of
amount
the
of
shower.
calories burned.
Oh yeah.
Now, they comes the heart monitor you put on your chest,
Yeah.
and it fits to. And I'm like, how did I burn 600, 700 calories in 25 minutes?
Wow.
Even though I can't hardly breathe, I'm sweating, but still,
It's more
Well, I
exercise
hope
than
you
you
enjoy
think.
it.
you have no idea. I mean, it's just like you get done, you're like, and you get some water and you go to bed and you sleep like you've taken 10 melatonins.
Yeah.
Yes, you understand yoga. It's wonderful.
It's funny. Wrestling brought you to yoga. I like it. So.
I don't even like wrestling. I just I was searching for anything. I couldn't move. I was 39 and couldn't walk.
Wow.
Gosh.
It was not cool.
what'd you do to yourself, Bobby?
Honestly, I think lifting a propane tank in my truck to fill it up.
Oh.
That and jujitsu every night of the week. Something hurt me.
You're getting old too. So yeah,
There's
I
that.
still can't feel I still can't feel my toe.
Oh no.
One of my instructors, he recommends he's probably getting close to 70. He does Tai Chi in yoga and does a combination of, don't ask me the genre or whatever, but holy cow, he loves it and he says it makes a big difference.
I would love to do Tai Chi. That'd be fun.
Yeah, all of those are very meditative
Mm-hmm.
movements.
Yeah.
I personally really liked because Joseph Pilates actually took a lot from yoga when he created Pilates. And there were a lot of studios that were doing yoga Pilates. And I really enjoyed the combination
Oh, yeah,
of
that'd be
yoga
cool.
and Pilates.
Token Muddle, one of our friendly podcasters partners, asked, does hot yoga make a difference? Because I know he has some back problems.
So there's hot yoga and then there's like warm yoga. Most people, when they're talking about hot yoga, they might be talking about Bikram yoga, who is a yoga teacher with not a great reputation. He got into a lot of trouble, but he he took 26 poses from yoga and tried to patent them and say they were his. And it was this movement in a 105-degree room.
Oh.
And it's very little movement per se. The type of yoga that I like to teach the most and practice is considered like hot vinyasa, but it's not really hot. I like warm. If you think about it, yoga comes out of India. And India, I've been there, it's pretty warm. So you're kind of doing hot yoga when you're in India. But in a studio here, hot vinyasa yoga, which is just a form of yoga, we normally don't allow the temperature to get above 94 degrees because we know physiologically people can overstretch and actually hurt themselves. So we don't want people doing that.
So just warm. I mean, under body temperature, but
well, yeah, a little bit more than under, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like I like it so much because I think I stretch more, and it
Mm.
also kind of goes into in yoga we have Ayurveda, which is kind of the sister to yoga, and we start looking at what our body types are and what we need to stay in balance. And for me, I'm kind of one of these cold people who tends to be like right now I'm sniffling,
Yeah.
and I'm drawn to because it helps, dry me out. It serves me.
Mhm.
Whereas somebody who's a pitta in their dosha, which would be somebody who's petite, small, kind of wiry, wired, may have a little bit of a temper and stuff,
Mhm.
hot yoga probably wouldn't serve them. Uh, Probably the thing that would serve them would be yin yoga, which is this slow, meditative, quiet yoga that would probably serve them much better.
Okay. So I didn't know there were that many different kinds.
When we say yoga, we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But then there are different branches that
Okay.
have come out from yoga, from the yogis who brought from Sivananda
Uh-huh.
and Prahamsa Yogananda, and then Deshapachari, the people who my lineage is through. And then we have Iyengar. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but these yogis brought this over from India, and they lived to be 97, 98 years old.
Yeah.
And Iyengar, who brought Ashtanga yoga or created Ashtanga, was doing yoga 2 weeks before he passed at the
Wow.
age of 97.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Dang.
hmm
Dang. I didn't
It
think
really
we'd be
gets that
talking
heart.
about yoga there.
It gets everything in check. It seems like when you do it.
Mhm.
Well, it's supposed to. I mean, when you go through yoga teacher training, if you go through a really good program like I feel I've done, um, you will learn how to bring your body back into balance in these yoga poses and these asanas, like you probably have heard of sun salutations. This is the thing that we do maybe in the morning that brings us all back into harmony.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now,
Sorry.
no. I didn't. I didn't think we'd get off on yoga, but I was going to ask also about crystals while we're at it. Before we got to take a deep dive into the spooky since we're in Halloween season. So, but what about crystals and things? Because my wife is buying me boxes of rocks and saying, "Here, I got this for you, and this is what this does. Put it on your head when you sleep." And
She's going to downtown Atlanta and buying rocks.
I love
no,
What?
I don't know what she's doing.
Crystals. Oh,
Yeah,
Gonna
they're
buy, gonna buy some rocks?
there was a question. Real quick, do aligned chakras help psychic abilities? Like when you do yoga, does it help align your
So
chakras and psychic abilities?
part of yoga, if you're coming from a tantric yoga tradition, which is where the chakras are out of, and they actually come out of the Vedas, the Upanishads, and some of these other books of the Vedas, which are kind of like, in comparison, like the Bibles, the Old Testament, the
Mhm.
New Testament, but these are the Vedas. The chakras are how we balance and align. I think I think there's been a lot of misappropriation about the chakras and people's,
Okay.
you're saying I can align your chakras and all that. And I'm like,
Right.
if you take a walk in the morning or you do Tai Chi or you do yoga, you're aligning your own chakras. Like
Okay.
nobody can do that for you.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I firmly believe everything that we do, like the
Mhm.
things that I do, yoga and psychic mediumship and healing and things like that, we all have it. We all can do it. We all can serve ourselves. You don't need anyone else. And so that's really where I teach from too.
Mhm.
I'm not really a teacher. I consider myself a guide. I
Right.
feel like the tour director. Here, I'm here to share my knowledge and tell you about these things and have you go through some exercises and practice and see what resonates with you.
So, what exercises would you have someone do to check to see if they have psychic abilities or to foster them?
Well, to foster psychic ability, I know it's an old cliche and people just don't want to hear it, but really quieting your mind.
Mm.
It's quieting your mind. And I'm not going to say meditation because I really think people judge meditation way too much. You know, if you're taking a breath and breathing in and breathing out, that's a meditation.
Right.
But to enhance your natural psychic abilities, which I think we all have them,
Mhm.
just taking those pauses and listening to your own inner voice, that intuitive voice. And we all have it. You may have 1, 2, 3, 4 different voices in your head. I know. Actually, it's funny because as a
Hate that.
medium, yeah, I've been studied and along with others for, they're doing studies on schizophrenia. And
Not
because
schizophrenia.
mediums have voices, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dina's yours is just because you're crazy. So
Mm-mm. No, mine does not tell me to do weird things. I know what it is. I know where it comes from. It's not me.
the only time I ever heard a voice in my head was right before Annie. I was on duty as a firefighter paramedic, and I was attacked on duty by a pit bull. And
Ooh.
just prior to the attack, like 10 seconds, something in my head said, "Don't get bit." And then I was like, I looked up on the front porch and I saw these little yipping chihuahuas, and I'm like, okay, I can clear them out with my steel-toed boot. And so I ignored that. And then a second later, like 3 steps later, it screamed it in my head, "Don't get bit." And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Who is this? About the time I got
Who is this? Hello? Hello?
That's the only time I've ever heard a voice in my head. And I told them that after the attack, and they said, okay, so you've got PTSD. And I'm like, well, that is true, but it's not that kind of voice.
Yeah.
No, I think it's your own, maybe it's your higher self or your intuition or your own psychic abilities,
Yeah.
warning you that, hey, run, you're going to get bit.
But it should have been a little more specific. Not the little ones on the porch, the big one coming from behind you.
Watch that big dog.
When you couldn't see.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
but it just, I don't want to get off on that, but it was really weird. Afterwards, that same voice told me it will only hurt for a little while. And then it said, it's all going to be okay. Don't know what those 2 messages meant, but I was already pissed off that it didn't tell me to watch out for the big one behind me.
You don't know what those messages meant?
It just,
Well, I mean, I knew it wasn't going
what they said.
Yeah, well, it didn't hurt I mean, I had 3 surgeries, but it wasn't like killer surgery or anything. I mean, I survived it. And yeah, it's all going to be okay. I mean, I guess that's subjective. I haven't been able to return as a firefighter paramedic, so which is what I want to do. So
if it had been me as your spirit, I'm telling you, I would have smacked you upside the back of your head and said, "What did I tell you?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it was funny. I was arguing with this voice in my head as it's telling me it's going to be all right. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I got blood running down, 2
You
fingers
don't argue
dangling.
with the voice in your head.
Yeah.
Maybe when you just didn't trust it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd never heard it. I mean, I didn't know what it was. And so it was really weird. The only ability, if you'll call it that I've ever had is I was trained remote viewing by a guy that worked for the CIA. And I was actually kind of good at it when I practiced it. And of course, he was telling me all the things that, you if you've learned this and you practice it, you hone it, it's going to increase your psychic ability, blah, blah, blah. So, but yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, remote viewing really doesn't tap into our psychic abilities. Interestingly enough, I've done remote viewing. I've met Targ, who was one of the big people with Stargate and stuff. But remote viewing is something that we all have naturally, and we really can use it through location.
Mm-hmm. It's a the way I was taught by the guy from the CIA. It was it's a scientific methodology. So I won't say anybody can do it, but it was pretty easy to me. So
it's very well known that anyone can do it. Now, can anyone do it well and be 90%? No, that's probably where you were good at it. They're saying you're good at this. But, I do teach psychometry, which is a part of remote viewing. Because the stronger you are at that, you're right, it does tend to trip into psychic abilities and also strengthen those psychic abilities. Psychometry, which is a part of remote viewing, is really important to understand.
I think I go places when I'm asleep.
Astral travel.
I seriously, there are some nights I'm so tired, I'll go to sleep and I'll be out cold. And I will wake up like 8, 9 hours later and I'm exhausted and my body feels sore. And I'm like, what was I doing last night in my sleep?
What are your dreams? What kind of dreams are you having?
Sometimes I have dreams like I've been at somebody's house and I've watched them do different things. I had a dream one time that I was in a car with Glenn and I don't even know what we were doing or where we were going, but I didn't stay there very long. He was driving and there was nobody else in the car but me. Yeah. But just different things.
Did you notice?
Did I notice what?
Did you notice Brenda's visit?
No, I don't recall it. No.
So I think when you dream, it kind of tells you a little bit about what you're doing when you're doing astral travel, astral projection out of your body. And I think a lot of times we just don't remember. If you don't remember your dreams and stuff, sometimes you might hear a friend say, "You were in my dreams last night." And I'm like, "Oh, that's where I was."
Yeah. I've actually had that happen too.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think these are common things we do. If we remember, the one thing I always say, that we are spirit having a human experience, so if we remember that, I think it shifts and changes everything. I think we're supposed to have the human experience as a reason for us being here and trying to learn these lessons so we don't have to reincarnate again.
Right.
You want to break that cycle of birth and death so you can just go off in the hinterlands and rest.
That's crazy. I had a recurring dream about Glenn. He was a preacher at like a church that was like in like an old mini mall kind of thing.
In a mini mall.
It was in like a. You know how some churches are made in they're in buildings that weren't churches first.
Oh yeah.
It's like a weird kind of store, and I walk in and Glenn's the preacher. It happened like 4 times.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me, though. I mean, I kind of look at the dynamics of all of you, and looking at Glenn, it wouldn't surprise me if he's kind of like a preacher with you.
He's a cult leader.
He does preach to us a lot.
He is our father. Glenn, you are our father.
Glenn.
You're gonna be trying to feed me Kool-Aid.
But I've had reoccurring dreams. Like if I have them at least 3 times in a row, whatever happened in those dreams ends up happening, which that trips me out. And I've been doing that since I was a kid.
Well, you probably are just a natural psychic and medium.
Yeah.
I'm actually writing an article about mediumship and talking about different types of mediums. And, the people like you and I came into this world the same way, just a natural medium. If you're having these dreams, that precognition, there's nothing wrong with it. But sometimes they're not great dreams. And, it's the part that nobody likes. But I think the strongest energies, at least it's my own belief, I think the strongest energies out there, being the really bad energies and then the really good energies, are the things that we pick up on. I mean, we don't pick up on, oh, my neighbor over there is knitting.
Right.
We're not dreaming about our neighbor's knitting.
My neighbor's knitting.
God, I don't want to pop into Glenn's bathroom while he's taking a shower. No.
Please don't. Billy asked, he's really looked forward to the show. That's great. What
Yeah,
does it
that's
mean if you
awesome.
don't dream? And I can answer from a police point of view. You're psychotic if you don't dream.
I don't remember my dreams a lot.
See, I think that's more of a fair statement,
Yeah,
Glenn. In it, was it Brenda that said that, or
Dina.
Dina? Dina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think we dream every night. Do
Mhm.
we remember those dreams? And
Yeah.
so when people don't dream, I try to give them a way to access, because it's such a good way to tap into our own intuition, because we'll get our own answers and stuff.
Right.
And also, I think during dreaming, if you've lost a loved one, this is a great way for your loved one to come through and spend time with you. And if you're lucky, to maybe get some messages. So the thing that I would say is, you're probably not in a sleep routine. You want to find your natural time that you go to sleep, when you naturally get tired, and then when you naturally wake up. Because if you're waking up to an alarm clock every day and jumping out of bed, your dream will instantaneously disappear.
Right.
As I say, put a journal next to your bed, and every
Yep.
time you wake up, write in your journal. When I was really young, I had a lot of precognition through dreams, and I'd be scribbling in the middle of the night, and these would come true.
Mhm.
Yep.
Wow, that's kind of neat.
It is.
I
Well,
know I've
mine
had
were
dreams
mine. Oh, go ahead, Glenn. I'm
I was just
sorry.
gonna say, I know I've had dreams where something similar, or I was in that situation like later on, but
Yeah.
and then I would be like, wait a minute, I remember this, and it
Yeah.
was like I remember dreaming it. But go ahead, Brenda. I'm sorry.
Now, a lot of the reoccurring ones that I've had, but that when they've come true, they've been bad ones. So what I've done was, by having those, I changed something in it so that, but I would see what was supposed to happen. And it's like, oh boy, I'm glad I'm in this car, not that one, you know? So every time, it's always been kind of, I've taken them as warning signs,
Well,
honestly.
I think you're really fortunate. And you changing things in your dreams means that you have great control over your brainwaves.
Hmm.
So it's a very powerful thing. And Glenn, what I was going to say is, when we look at dreaming during the night, there are like 5 stages of dreaming. Our first dream that we have is typically, we're reviewing what happened during the day. So you may dream what you did during the day. And then we have these REM, the rapid eye movement, when we go into that really deep sleep. But we have many renditions of this during the night, where we're going up and down on a roller coaster and getting that 20 minutes of REM,
Yeah.
and then coming back down. You probably have 3 to 4 dreams every night, and they probably at the end of the day all mush together into one big dream. But if you wake up, you'll probably realize, oh, I just had this dream. You write it down, and then you go back to sleep. So if you're not, everyone dreams. If you're not dreaming, I would look at your sleep patterns.
What Brenda said about controlling your dreams. I have been going through the PTSD counseling and stuff, and that's one of the things they try and teach you is, when you're having the nightmare, the dog attack, or the patient dying, or whatever, change it. And that's one of the things that they teach, or at least I guess this instructor does. And so it's not easy to do. I haven't done it yet. I haven't mastered that one.
Yeah. How do you change it when you know that's the reality of what happened?
I think it's really setting intentions. You have to, once you have your sleep patterns down, then when you're going to sleep, you're setting an intention. I want to have good dreams. And if I have bad dreams, I want to go into that dream and shift and change things.
That's something
I've
she
made,
never said.
yeah, I've
Yeah.
made the outcome of that dream a lot different by doing what I do. And it's not that I have control over it, it just happens. Like, my mind does the weirdest things. I am not kidding.
Well, you probably are somebody with abilities, and that's
Oh
why
yeah.
these things happen. You said that you're a natural medium, you said you were a medium, and I'm calling you a natural medium. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I've been told by several people. My grandmother was a psychic, and
Yeah,
she used to tell me, "Girl, the abilities that you have, you just got to learn how to use them."
yeah.
And I mean, she went all the way down the line of everything, and I was like, "Huh, what?"
Well, you're very fortunate.
Oh. Thank
Wow.
you. Sometimes I kind of look at it as sometimes with some of the things, oh God, am I cursed? But
You're not.
it's it's not a bad thing.
No.
I'm never afraid of what comes, so it's okay.
Good.
Yeah.
That's that's good. Yeah, one of the things you were talking about earlier, and I was going to ask, but I forgot it. When you say that you don't carry, you can carry things on. I remember my grandfather telling me a long time ago that we had a family curse on us. I don't know what it was about or anything, but
Wow.
so is that possible, or is that just voodoo, black magic, or?
You know, it's not an area. I mean, I'm interested in curses and what people think and stuff, but I can't tell you how many people get in touch with me to remove a curse. And to me, it's this is I most of the time when people want to remove a curse and stuff, they want to do it for a lot of money. And I just think it's a way of people trying to scam people out of money. The mediumship I do is mental or evidential mediumship. So, when I'm having a reading with someone, the superstition type stuff of like curses, it's nothing that I get involved with. I don't know how to remove a curse. I don't know if there are curses. I certainly am fascinated by them. I think it's a shame that your grandfather told you you have a curse, because I think this is this superstition you're going to carry with you. And if you give it energy, aren't you just going to manifest the curse then?
Right.
Like self-fulfilling.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I would say, oh, he was full of whatever. I'm not cursed.
Malarkey.
Yeah. Malarkey.
I think I had gypsies in the family, so who knows? But
I love that word.
Malarkey.
Malarkey.
Billy wants to know, how could people be attempting to connect with you if they are reincarnated? That's something I've always wondered, because you'll hear, well, they're going to be there waiting on you in heaven, or whatever your Christian belief or whatever your belief
Their
is.
spirit can be wherever they want.
But isn't that spirit?
Well, let's talk
So
about
does
that
you.
space-time continuum.
Yeah.
If you think about it, I think I've only done one reading in these many decades where I had the feeling that the person had reincarnated and was actually back on Earth.
Mm.
But that's only one reading that I've done that I've had that feeling about. But yeah, our loved ones greet us in spirit, because remember, we're a multidimensional being.
Yeah.
So can they greet you in the afterlife, whatever your belief system is there? And can they also be on the planet Jupiter? Who knows?
I think so.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. That kind of
I
makes
gotta
you
think
wonder.
about that.
Makes you wonder if we can't, like, well,
Just give her
Work
a
it
minute.
out.
She's
well,
slow
I was just
sometimes.
thinking, it was in my head.
We can
and
do
it
this.
was like, phew.
Wait.
Why we can't,
Go, Dina.
like, no, I ain't gonna say that. It's okay.
We can,
What? Go ahead, say
it. Well,
Well, like we could
yes,
visit other people in our like our spirit split or something like that. Or we could, like, it is a time space continuum or something. Like we are here and we're also somewhere else.
Well, if you
We've
look
already
at
been over this.
Yeah.
look at quantum physics, and I
Yeah.
am a total neophyte, but I love it because I think it explains what psychics and mediums do.
Yeah.
But if you look at quantum physics, especially in string theory, which really isn't physics,
Yes.
it's mathematics.
Yes.
But in string theory, they look at light rather than mass. So Einstein talked about mass, where in string theory, we have these strands of energy or of light,
Yes.
and there are 11 dimensions. So the first three we experience. So we experience space by height, width, length, right? That's our dimensions. And then we have the fourth dimension, which is space, which we can only observe. But in string theory, there are all these other dimensions, 11 total, that string theory and our understanding of photons will allow us to maybe experience more dimensions as our understanding grows.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right. I got you.
If you research,
It's really a mind-blowing kind of thought to try to explain and to try to think about.
If I'm a Bigfoot researcher, and Ron Moorhead wrote a great book called Quantum Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend anyone read that book. He explains a lot about the Bigfoot that we know. So go ahead, Annie. You seem like you know about it too.
I do. I know a lot. Like, when you're in this realm and you have these interests, I've had these interests all my life. I've always been reading, I read L. Ron Hubbard's sci-fi movies, books.
Wow.
And I read Dianetics when I was like a kid. And I watched Leonard Nimoy in Search Of, that was on in the 70s. And all this stuff just fascinates me.
That show holds up, by the way.
It does.
Yes, they redid it. They rebooted it. And now we have Captain Kirk. What's his name?
Unexplained.
William Shatner. Yes.
Yeah.
So I watch all these things because this is all fascinating to me. This isn't the see, feel, and touch. This is what's out there. What aren't we seeing? Why aren't we seeing it? And I think the Bigfoot stuff, because I've watched shows, Ancient Aliens. I've watched every
I love Ancient Aliens.
episode.
I watch all that.
Yeah, exactly. And when you look at Bigfoot, having him or her appear and disappear and talking about dimensions, that makes sense to me.
It does.
Makes more sense than a hidden monkey, to be honest.
Well, yeah.
Like, where are they hiding him?
The only thing I want to know from cryptozoology is, why haven't we found poop or hairs? Or that's the thing. I know this. We didn't know about the giant squid until 1984. Everyone thought it was a myth. We didn't know about gorillas until 1930. And then gorillas were discovered. So, when you look at these creatures, where is, I'm sure they found gorilla poop. I'm sure these things. Is Bigfoot taking his interdimensional poop with him or her? But that's just kind of where I'm like, let's get some evidence. And I've seen where they're like, we're analyzing the hairs. And I'm like, that's what I want to see.
Yeah, they have hairs, right? They found hairs.
They have hairs, but they come back as unknown identification.
Right.
The most recent one I saw, that was compared to, or I didn't see it, but it was compared to polar bear hair, and that it was almost like made out of crystals and would change colors, which would explain.
The mandula was clear.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it would explain some of the cloaking that we see. So
we had a giant fight in my comments about that shit once.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We had some biologists arguing with some Bigfooters in my comments, and it got deep. I didn't want it to end. I was like, Jerry. It was fun.
Oh, you're silly.
It was with D.A. Roberts, the Dogman guy. He was on there.
Oh, wow.
D.A. Roberts.
Oh, it was killing me. He was on my show, and then some biologists were in the chats. I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
I want to get D.A. Roberts to come on this show.
I can ask him.
Yeah,
I've been on his show a time or two.
I've already asked him. He said yes. Just pick a time. If he's got time, he will.
Cool.
Yeah. His buddy Robbie.
One of the people that I know that works for a 3-letter agency, they have had contact with a certain Bigfoot that's kind of like how do I want to explain this? Kind of like a double spy or something. This a lot of people haven't heard this story, so this will be some real Bigfoot stuff for them.
Double spy, Bigfoot.
Well, you know where what is it called when you're
Double
you're
agent.
telling on your own race and your own people or whatever, double agent. And when they were remote viewing and communicating with him, he had a handler here on Earth, which was an agent with X whatever.
Damn.
And he said he was injured because of what he had done, and they had him in isolation in prison on Mars. I don't know whether to believe it or not, but that's what I was told. And I'm like, interesting.
That is
Haven't we landed on Mars?
I'm sorry?
Haven't we landed on Mars?
There's a rover.
Yeah.
A rover up there. Not a dog, but a rover.
Still can't figure out how a helicopter flies up there with no air for lift and force.
Helicopter.
It's got a very thin atmosphere.
We'll get into that argument later, but
Okay.
I'm off somewhere else.
Yeah,
on that one.
we don't want to take Annie's time with that.
Yeah, no.
But
Unless she can give any insight into Mars.
yeah, I mean, do you have any Mars insight? I mean,
I hear it's hot.
There's
Hot, very hot.
I hear it's hot.
They say that they've
It's
actually brought
Texas.
some of them here. So
Yeah. It's the Sahara Desert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of
Right.
wonder about that myself. So
that's why Elon
Okay.
Musk likes Texas so much.
Yeah.
Maybe.
well, we got to get some spooky in before you go. So I'm sure you've had some spooky experiences.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any you care to talk about, or you want to tell?
Spooky I've had so many. So I do investigations,
Oh,
and
Okay.
here it always shows up on my camera.
Ooh.
So that's been something that's happened for about the past decade or so. So I have fascinating photos of spirits that show up. I can tell a story. I hope it'll be brief enough, but when I was over in England, I went to one of the oldest churches in England. I think it was built in the 8th century. And as we approached the church, I was like, I can't go here. I can't get near this church. I can't get near this park in front of the church. I'm just going to sit this out.
Oh.
So when I went to sit down, I started seeing spirits coming out of this stoop where I was sitting, of this basement. And I started seeing spirits everywhere. Well, come to find out, the park where we were in front of St. Bartholomew, which was the church, there were 500,000 people or so, or maybe it's 50,000, that were buried from the plague.
Oh,
They did a mass
wow.
grave in this park. And so as I'm getting up and going to my friends, I can't be here. I need to get away. This is too much, because it's very overwhelming. Like, you feel sick, you feel like throwing up, you get very dizzy and disoriented, like when there's so much energy like that. So we were on a tour. We ended up going to St. Bartholomew. And then I was like, I can't do this. This is just so much. We need to leave. And as I was leaving, something told me to take a picture. You know, when I hear stuff, I do it.
Right.
Okay. Picture. I took 2 pictures in a row of St. Bartholomew. And in one picture, it's St. Bartholomew looking great. And in the next picture, it's a court jester in the picture.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I almost deleted the picture. I waited until I got home. I was on a long trip from England into India, came back a month later. I look at this picture that I was going to delete, but didn't. And I'm like, what's a court jester doing in St. Bartholomew's? The only person buried in St. Bartholomew's is Rod here, who was a court jester of England, who went on a pilgrimage, got really sick, and said, if I survive, you know, I'll do anything you want. And he heard build a church and build a hospital. So he became St. Bartholomew, came back, built the church, built the hospital, and he's known to haunt there. And where I took this picture is where his crypt is.
Oh, that is so cool.
Most people see Roger as they see him on a certain day where he walks, but he walks as a monk. I think I'm the only one who has him as a court jester. And it's up on my social media if you look back far enough.
Okay.
Where I show the before and after pictures, and it's very distinctive. And to me, when it happened, when I was taking the picture, it looked like somebody put their hand in front of my camera, which happens a lot. I'll see something that looks like a hand, and I'm like, what the? And I take another picture. Now I know to keep all the pictures because I have all kinds of stuff that show up. But that one's one of the most unusual ones. And then I think I'm the only one who has him as the court jester.
That's really cool. Do you think it sends a message like he was a fool, or that he was played for a fool, or
He actually was
that he was?
the court jester of England.
Oh, he was.
They were
Okay.
like he wore the hat, the
Yeah.
three-pronged hat and stuff, and that's what's in the picture.
Okay.
It is
So he
him.
was the court jester.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I mean, he died 900 years ago. So I'm like,
Mhm.
what a good one hanging out.
Wow, that's
In the
crazy.
1100s.
Yeah.
Exactly. Did you look it up?
Yeah, I'm doing my independent research back
He's our
here.
researcher.
Good.
He's my
On-
fact checker.
Fact checker.
Yeah.
I like
Fact
looking at
check-
stuff real time. Like
fact
this stuff.
jester.
I turn into a small child when I start hearing these stories. Like
Yeah.
I forget I'm a
That's-
host on my
that's
own
an
show.
unusual one, but I do have a lot of pictures, and I tend to post them on social media and stuff to just kind of say they love to like hang out. Another funny story. So I have a photographer who I met, and I actually have shared an office with her, Samantha, wonderful photographer, and we met when I hired her to take headshots of me. So we met at a place close by called Algonquian Park, and she was taking the pictures. We parted ways, and she was going through and editing them, and she wasn't sending me the pictures. She finally sent me a message, and she goes, "I need to talk to you." And I said, "Okay." So she called me, and she said, "I don't want to freak you out, but there are a bunch of other faces that show up in your pictures." And she goes, "I have tried to analyze it because her software finds faces. It does a face finder. So around me, it found faces." And she actually sent them to me. And I was laughing because I'm like, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Because she knew what I did for a living. But it was funny because she's like, I'm trying to figure out how this happened because it's you against water. She goes, there are no waves. There's no way it could do this picture. And the picture, like, it's very distinctive of who's around me.
That's really neat. I've had some pictures like that, but they're tiny faces, like little different faces in certain areas of the picture.
Oh, these were big. These
Oh,
these
okay.
were like my size face, but remember they were outlines because she was using
Oh.
software
Oh,
where it was
true.
outlining
Okay.
distinctly women. You could tell that there were
Oh.
women around me.
Crazy.
That's-
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
It
pretty
freaked
cool.
her out. She
That
didn't
is.
want to send me. She didn't want to talk about it. She didn't want to send the
Wow.
pictures. And I was like, it's no big deal. This is normal life for me.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
She was trying to look at it analytically, I assume. So
She
she
was
didn't.
going, "What the
This
heck
shouldn't
going on?"
happen.
Yeah.
She was like, this shouldn't happen. And I felt badly, like, don't let it scare you. It's no
She
big
thought
deal.
you'd be mad, I bet. Like you ruined the photo shoot.
Yeah.
And you paid me $80 for this crap.
Yeah.
All right. Well, last question before you go. I want to get the crystal question in because my wife keeps
Yeah,
buying these
sorry about
rocks and
that.
throwing them at me. So some of them hurt, but no, she's tried to do well. I don't want to say we've tried to do some things. We've tried to do a lot of things to stop some of the nightmares when they're so bad. So she
Are you putting crystals in your bedroom?
well, she just recently has started doing
Not
that.
put crystals in your bedroom.
Yeah,
Okay.
Glenn.
I don't know. I'm just.
I'll give you a suggestion. You're having nightmares, Glenn.
Yeah, frequently.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to buy, and you can write this down. I want you to buy a stone called kyanite. And the other
Kyanite?
thing I would suggest that you do, kyanite, and it doesn't matter how big you buy it, it tends to fall apart. So, I'm sure if you have crystal stores, you'll be able to find it. But get kyanite, put it by your bed, not next to your bed. And the other thing too, do you have any dream catchers?
No, and actually somebody had sent me that asking me to do that.
Yeah, get a dream catcher. From a Native American standpoint, they do that for young kids, and I did it for my kids. And in fact, I have a dream catcher in my office. But the theory behind it is that the nightmares burn away with the morning sun in the dream catcher. They get caught in the dream catcher, and then the sun burns them away. So I know when I did that, my son had really bad nightmares when he was a kid, and I bought him a dream catcher for this very reason. I have one from when I was a kid, and it helped. And so I have one in almost every room in my home.
Mm.
But that might help. If the kyanite might intensify your dreams. So if it intensifies, meaning not that it'll make them worse, but it might make them more visual, like deeper colors and stuff. And if that's not working, then I would say get rid of all your crystals in there. And, you can get in touch with me and maybe we'll put selenite in there or something that will help clear out this.
Okay, cool. I'm when we started this show, it was the paranormal. It was a play on paramedic, but it was also a play on one of us would believe it and the other one wouldn't. And so we would kind of go back and forth with it. So that was kind of the premise of our show. So on the crystals things, I'm definitely the doubter, I guess.
Well, I'm a 4th generation rock hound. I've been rock hounding, which is somebody who goes out in the desert or anywhere and looks for crystals. So I'm always looking down. I'm always finding crystals. And I have a massive crystal collection, not only from me, but handed down through my grandparents and parents and stuff. I love crystals. I teach about them. The thing that's wonderful about the crystal kingdom or the mineral kingdom, is that crystals are perfect energy. And so they bring you into that perfect energy to help bring you into balance. Again, when we look at disease and stuff, dis-ease, we're looking at being out of balance. So crystals are something that you use to bring you back into balance.
Okay. Nice. All right. Yeah, I don't fully understand it, but I'm sure she'll hit me in the head with a book or something and teach me something.
It's okay. There's a lot of things I think my family doesn't understand. And I will put crystals in certain places and they just laugh, but they notice they feel better.
Yeah. That works.
So she said she'd been carrying, I don't know, a pocket rock as a worry stone in it.
Yeah.
She had... what was it she said? She said it tonight. She said she noticed she was calmer.
Good.
Okay. So.
Yeah, so she's carrying something that she can rub and concentrate, maybe put some of her energy, her worry energy into that stone. So they they're helping bring her back into balance. They won't tolerate anything that's out of balance.
She gets in balance, she may kick me out, so I might need to stop that.
She'll start gritting your entire house. Like all the rocks I find, mostly in Virginia, you find like Amazonite and you'll find snow quartz, which is most crystals are quartz. But what I do is I bring them home and I put them all around my house. And over the years, they kind of go down into the ground, but I don't care. My entire house is gridded with crystals.
That's cool.
The outsides.
Yeah.
Glenn, if you're one.
I was going to say, somebody has told me that if you do exactly what you're saying, you attract the little people. Is there any truth to that?
Are you talking like fairies and stuff?
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. Like, I didn't really put much into fairies and stuff like that until I went to a mediumship conference and I met all the people from Iceland, all the mediums from Iceland. And before you can build anywhere in Iceland, you actually have to have somebody, I don't know who, a fairy, wrangler come in and make sure that the fairies are okay with you building things.
That's like the Pukwudgie in Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. You have to get permission. You have to make sure that it's okay and stuff. So I never, it's a realm of possibility for me. And if it attracts the fairies, I think it's a good thing. I'm sure that they're happy and they have the crystal energy and yeah, it's all great.
Yeah.
I put a little belief in the little people, and they've been around the Appalachia forever.
Yeah.
We were out on a Bigfoot expedition, and I saw something that really shook me one time, and I was like, I don't want to talk about this. And it was a little person that had some weird features. So
Was it a gnome?
No, it had like eyes of like an owl, and skin was more yellow.
That's a puckwudgie.
Well, I don't,
Okay.
we shouldn't be saying that. It's too early.
I want to see a picture of that, Bobby.
I love hearing about all this. I watch all this stuff. It's not something that I tend to encounter, but you know, because I don't encounter it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Right.
I find it all fascinating.
Oh, we've had some strange encounters in the Appalachia. We had a I'm trying to remember her name. She was a Cherokee Indian witch lady, and gosh, I forgot her name. She came into our camp one night and literally tore the camp apart because she was mad at two of the remote viewers who were looking for the Bigfoot. Took a baby Sasquatch away from her. They moved it. Yeah. So maybe you get more stories out of me than I normally tell, but yeah, it was. Yeah, she was going to use the baby Sasquatch for. I don't know what. Gosh, I wish I could think of her name. I know. Jessica, my partner or my teammate, was probably cussing me right in a spearfinger. Yeah, spearfinger. No, maybe that's not it. I don't know, but
you found it. You are
so quick. Oh, very cool.
Now, do you guys see the court jester?
I do. Yep.
Yeah. Look at that. Isn't that crazy?
Awesome.
And people even talked about, there were a lot of comments about the stick that went into, and it looks like a burnt stick that went into like a lightning rod.
Yeah.
Where that picture was taken to, there's layers and layers. When they were fixing the church many decades ago, they found layers and layers and layers of people that were burned and tortured and hung.
Oh, wow.
So this was a place of execution too.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd that stick come from?
I have no idea. There's no trees around there.
You see this?
No idea.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it goes. It looks like
the same
Red
picture.
Holding it.
Yeah, it does.
These pictures were taken, and I think I put the timestamp on there. They're taken 4 seconds apart from each other.
Wow.
You know, like that's the same. Like you're almost in the same place.
Yeah.
I was in the same place. Remember, I took one. It looked like somebody put a hand in front, so I took another one.
Wow, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
St. Bart's.
The only thing I did,
it almost looks like a tree.
with those pictures was lighten them so that you could see Roger even, and you probably can read what I wrote about it. And this was a long time ago.
That looks like a tree. There's a branch. There's a branch off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like another branch comes in and comes down. But again, it looked like somebody, and I had this happen when I was out at the Whaley House in California, which I'm sure you guys have heard of. I have a lot of camera anomalies there where I thought my camera was going funky and was actually deleting pictures.
Oh my goodness.
And I wish I didn't delete.
Well, we've had on our expeditions that the cameras would delete all the flashcards and stuff on their own. So yeah.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I guess I've been lucky, and I think I normally try to upload things faster now to a space so that I still have the pictures.
Yeah, we've had electronics fail, GPSs go nuts. We've had all kinds of stuff when you're out in the woods. And, you know, some of it could also be, you know, we have courts in Georgia, and that will throw off a lot of things. But we've had a lot of really
you're
weird
bringing up Roger. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm just checking out like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're finding the same material I did when I got home from England and India, going, why is a court jester at St. Bartholomew's?
Prospecting USA asked us that where they burned witches.
Yeah, they did. They burnt witches there.
Okay.
That's Wendell.
Yeah. Hey, Wendell.
If you read about the history too here, they'll actually talk about that when they were excavating. They actually found these massive rocks underneath that were all burned. So they knew that they were burning people at the stake. And you ask about that stick that comes in, like a lot of people said, do you think that represents like burning of the witches and the stick?
Probably does.
And I'm like, yeah, that could be, you know,
Or
maybe
the hanging, the amount of
right,
hanged
or the
people there.
hanging, but it's bizarre. It's
It
just
is.
Such a random
Very
stick.
bizarre.
it's random, and it doesn't really connect with anything, and it
No.
doesn't, like, it's just weird.
It
It's
is.
just a weird picture that I almost deleted. I was like, well, that's a weird picture, and I
Glad
said,
you kept it.
well, it's funny. There are times like you hear that voice in your head that we were talking about. It's like,
Yeah.
keep it.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't
I mean,
delete it.
you are very quick at the information.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
Are you
I'm known as a deep diver at work. Like,
you
put
are.
him on it.
Wow.
He's our gopher.
I'm
He
very
is our gopher.
yeah.
Yeah, sometime you ought to hop over and visit his podcast sometime. He does he does the same thing, so except we're better over here, but you know.
I do too. I think I love.
You don't have a target
talking to
pumpkin.
people.
Where's your target pumpkin?
Yeah, where's your pumpkin?
I don't have a pumpkin. I'm sorry. I'm too
Yeah, you
cheap
look
to
like
buy
a
a
pumpkin.
Well, I do.
You'll turn into a
Yeah.
pumpkin.
I'm going on vacation. I'm
All
gonna
right,
eat like a
boys. All right.
pig,
All right.
so. Annie, I know you probably don't feel well and you
Sorry.
want to go, so I don't want to keep you.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I actually have had a blast.
I'm glad you came
Yeah.
on, and hope you come back
Yes.
sometime.
Thank
I
you
would
so
love
much.
to. You guys are great to talk to. I
Thank you so
absolutely
much.
love it.
Oh, well, thank you. We appreciate that.
I wish I
enjoyed
felt
you as
better
well.
today, but yeah, we did. I absolutely enjoyed you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
It was
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Well, so Annie, where can everybody find you? Where can they get anything from you? If you have anything, you come on here for free, and I want you to try and help yourself out while
Oh,
you're
thank
here.
you.
So.
You can find me on my website. It's Medium Annie with an IE, Larson with an R and an O. So it's mediumannielarson.com. And if you happen to be in Maryland and College Park, Hyattsville area, I'm actually going to be at an expo where I'll be presenting for an hour about intuitive and psychic development. And there's a cost to get in, it's minimal, but the lecture is free, and they actually have all kinds of other lectures going on at the same time. I will be there at 2:00 doing my presentation for the retreat that's coming up the following weekend.
Nice. Okay. Thank
Very
you.
good. And if you can get any of those Redskins to come on my show, that'd be great. So.
You know what? I bet if I said, you guys wouldn't even know who they are.
Well, I grew up in Washington, D.C., remember? So
Oh, that's
Glenn
right.
probably
We
would.
talked about that. Yeah. So I had Corey Raymer, who was the center for the Redskins in the late 90s and early 20s, and then Stephen Alexander, who,
that one I don't recall.
yeah, he was their tight end.
Okay.
And actually Schottenheimer, who went from DC to San Diego, took them both to San Diego. So we went out for their first game. It was where I met Drew Brees. So it was a blast. And actually we went to, who is the very famous football player? Alzado?
Lyle Alzado?
Yes, he's passed now, but he actually had a restaurant. So he threw a big party and we all went to the party, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Cool. I love hearing that. Actually, people don't understand it, but if you're up there in the Washington, D.C. area, the Redskins aren't really that inaccessible. You can actually get in touch with them. And Sonny Jurgensen we used to ride by his house on our bikes, and he'd yell, "Get off our lawn" and stuff. And so
Sonny Jurgensen.
I got plenty of story. He would hang out at the auto repair shop. I don't know if he owned part of it or whatever, and smoke cigars all day. And you just go by and, hey, how you doing? And that's the way it was up there. I don't know another town like
very
that.
accessible. I mean, I don't know anybody now playing football, but we just happen to live in a place where Redskins happen to move next to, and we had such a good time with them. Just so much fun.
Yeah, people would be surprised. They're not what you think they are. They're actual just real people. So
Yeah.
like I said, Sonny Jurgensen, we saw him every day. So we had plenty of Sonny stories. But Annie, I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you come back and see us again in the near future, because
I'd
we
love
can
it.
sure use it. And we also do a Saturday show if you ever get bored and you want to just tune in and listen, called The Misfits. It's an adult show, so have a
Beware.
beverage with you. So
Among other things.
Oh, that's the Misfits, the land of misfit toys.
Yes.
So you're welcome to drop in on that any night you want. We usually start at 9. I think we're going to move it to 10 because we're getting a little bit more wild as we get older. So
Get a little weird.
Sure. Our
So
time clock
you
back
encourage
to the
me to
kids.
drink
Yourself.
Yes.
when I'm on?
Drink.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I
Lord.
encourage anybody to.
Absolutely.
Hey, if you want to get drunk and come on the show, I mean,
Oh, I'd be reading everyone. Hey, do you know?
Yeah, do it. Do it.
oh Lord, you bring out all
One or
my
two
fears.
glasses of wine. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be like, "What's the lottery numbers? I need that Powerball number."
No, that doesn't work.
I know it's so
Unfortunately.
funny. Somebody asks, "Can you get that? How about remote viewing it?" It doesn't work that way.
I will tell
Yeah.
you one funny story, real short. I did a reading, and it was over the phone. Woman had lost her brother suddenly, and they needed to get into all of his accounts. And the one thing they needed to do was get the passcode to his computer. I didn't know this. But at the end, she asked me, "Can you give me the code?" And I'm like, "I don't get that. Hold on."
Oh.
Boom, 4 numbers came right through. I gave her the numbers, and as we were hanging up, she was screaming. It opened the laptop.
Oh. It opened it?
It opened the laptop.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I mean,
And
not crazy,
I
but
was telling
awesome.
her, and I'm like, I don't believe it myself,
Wow.
because these numbers just came right in. As I was saying, no, I'll never. Oh,
Yeah.
4837.
That's wild.
Wow.
Isn't it?
Well, hopefully you didn't see any bad mojo or anything around us, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
okay for Bobby if you did. So,
Now the help I can get.
yes,
They
he
really
does.
do love each other. Don't get them wrong.
Yes, they do.
Oh yeah, I didn't know what I'd do without him. So, Annie, I appreciate it. I'm gonna let you go. You can get your wine and your cold medicine and go rest.
Thank you.
Message me in a couple of days. Let me know you're okay, and I'm sure I'll have some more questions about these rocks I keep getting pelted with. So,
Try the kyanite. I hope you get some kyanite.
yeah, I wrote it down, and I'm gonna tell her that's Annie says I need her. Don't be surprised if she doesn't send you a friend request. So.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm on social media.
Awesome.
So, all right. Well, you have a good evening. Get better, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank
feel
you all
better.
so much. You all
Thank
take care.
you.
Thank you for having me. Nice to meet
Good
you.
night.
Thanks.
Nice
Yeah.
to
Thank
meet
very
you.
much.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Bye bye.
All right. Let's see here. We got
Hey,
who we got?
Glenn,
We got JT back here. Yeah.
if your wife starts putting all those rocks in a sock, run like hell.
We are going on vacation,
Hey,
so
it's
there's a
Hilton.
possibility. So.
Hi,
So-
look.
on.
It's JT and Shelton. Hi, Shelton.
Hey.
What's up, Brenda?
What you been doing, buddy?
Hanging out with my butt in the air.
You hanging
your
out with
butt
your
in
butt in
there.
there.
Yeah, JT left me head down.
Oh,
I don't know what he
Lord.
was trying to do to me.
Face down, ass up, huh?
That's the way she liked to.
Hey.
Oh,
Wow. So,
Well.
so you're accessible from any old stranger then. So.
Yeah, because JT don't know how to properly put me up.
Well,
You need
he's
a
probably
case.
tired of
You need
He
a
just threw you
case, like
down.
a little coffin or something.
JT.
Yeah.
Why don't you
What?
get a cage?
You need to get
Case.
you a pole, like those tall ones that they put the handles on, and just plop him up there and let him.
I got a
Yeah.
box.
You know.
I was just too lazy
Are
to put
you-
him back in it.
Are you talking about like a stripper's pole?
Yeah,
Well,
she wants
okay.
to see me strip. Didn't we get enough of that last week?
No, you weren't stripping last week. You was in a bad mood.
He kind of did strip.
Well, Yeah,
But
but
he's never that
you know,
top
we
button
didn't
loose
see
kind
no
of guy.
skin.
So.
We didn't
Yeah.
see no skin. That's what didn't count. We didn't see no skin.
All we got was a sweaty hand out of it. So.
A
Yeah.
sweaty hand.
That's
How
true.
funny.
Yeah, it
did
gets
you see
pretty
it?
moist in there.
Oh, he's so
Oh
moist.
boy. Moist.
I'm pretty sure we all have that problem in that position.
I'm moist right now.
Oh,
Whoa.
bet you
Todd,
are,
yes,
Bobby.
you can come on if you want to.
I almost slipped off my chair. So what does that tell you?
Hey,
God, that would have
snail trail.
That would have made a
Oh.
great TikTok moment.
I'm kidding.
Snail
Shut up.
trail.
I moved and I have this gel pad that sits underneath
Oh
my
yeah.
bottom, but if I move wrong, it'll slide.
Oh
And do you know
goodness.
how many times it has slidden all the way down and I've almost fallen out of my chair? It's like, oh my God. So yeah, floor yoga would be good for me while I'm waiting for Jack to call
Yeah.
911 to get them in here to
You need
pick
to
me
get
up.
that DDP yoga app.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fire department will come in.
It's-
What is she doing? Jack will say, give her a minute. She's finishing her 10 minutes of yoga.
Yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you.
So, Shelton, did you get a chance to see our show tonight?
Yeah, I was sitting here watching.
What do you think?
What?
What
Was
did
it
you
good?
think of what did you think of
You
the
want
show?
me to do yoga?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Well,
sure.
you
You
are
could be
limber
flexible.
enough.
Oh.
Yeah, I have
Well.
no bones in my body.
Yeah. I mean, you can do those positions where you put your foot all the way up to your
A
head and
Wendell.
My
sideways.
foot's
and-
not long enough.
oh, Wendell.
Dina he's trying to tell your secrets with him. So
I know.
Quiet. Don't tell everything.
Don't tell everything you know.
that's right. Unless it's good, but
Ah,
Oh, it was good, all right.
Woohoo.
best hand you'd
I'm
have.
going back again.
When?
Dina, do you have nails?
Do I have what?
You have nails?
Yeah, a little bit.
Nails? Oh, well, okay. I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
why? I mean, I could
Oh.
scratch.
I was gonna say because having your hand up there where you're scratching him. I mean,
Oh.
was she scratching your insides there, Shelton?
I got a hold of his
Oh,
pole.
it felt good too.
You got a hold of his pole.
Whoa.
His internal pole.
Oh my gosh!
All right, so we're an hour 27 in for the TikTok. So
His
She
internal
got a
pole.
hold of his pole.
she got
I made his head spin. Woo!
Shelton, Billy says that you get a continuous prostate check. So
Well, gotta
Well.
stay safe.
Yeah.
Keep your hand up there.
No,
Token-
Shelton,
token-
you make that sound
token
bad.
Mo was correct there. The guests leave and we do go into full pervert mode apparently when Shelton shows up. So
It's not.
Shelton's
It's not
fault.
complete. It's not complete, Todd. You are not here.
Yeah, what do you
right.
want from
Yeah.
me?
Would you come in? You could be the
It is not. It is not complete in
Sick
perv
pervert.
mode unless Todd is here.
You mean Dixon?
Dixon.
Dixon
Yeah.
cider.
There's Dixon.
It's cider.
Dixon
Insider,
cider.
come on in. We're calling you out.
yeah, it doesn't get
Wait,
really
which
freaky
is it?
until he shows
Come on
up.
in. We're calling you out. In, out. What is it, Dina?
I don't know. Both.
In and out. In and out. In and out.
Oh, Mary Jean, here you go, Brenda. We got a client for you here, and Shelton,
What's that?
you can help her out too. Mary Jana Ivan.
I don't do readings.
Well, give it a whirl.
that.
Maybe you'll get something. I'm sensing that she likes marijuana and she's from Russia with a heavy, I don't know, maybe Islamic accent. That's what I'm getting
I
from it.
don't know.
Um.
I don't know.
I don't know. Are you sure? Are you sure that it's a female?
Well,
It says Mary.
in this world, you never
Marijuana?
assign pronouns.
Is it Mary Hana or Mary Jana?
Marijuana.
It's not marijuana. That's not how you spell marijuana.
No one knows.
If
I
it's a
know
real
how to
human,
spell
we're sorry
marijuana.
if we're offending you.
Marijuana. I've been a Civic. She's in a Honda
I don't-
Civic smoking marijuana.
Oh no, because I'm not getting anything out of that.
Marijuana. I'm in a
Marijuana?
Civic. Let's check it out.
What if,
Listening
what
to
if her
Snoop
name
Dogg.
was
What was that car?
Dodge Omni?
Dodge Omni. That's it.
Like-
Omni.
What
She's
do
in a
you
Dodge
Like-
Omni smoking marijuana
What do you want to know? Wait,
with a
let's
goat
go with that one. What do you want to know?
and a little person.
Is she a little person? Well, I mean, what? So
hope
what,
Maybe
what
that's
if, oh, Lord. Well,
Oh, don't to me.
Marijuana, Brenda will be more than glad to help you, but she needs a little more information. So,
Don't search for hot yoga.
what?
Billy Riley says, "Don't search for hot yoga." TikTok is full of it now.
Okay.
Billy, tell me all about the hot yoga.
So she, whatever, sir, ma'am, wants to know a general reading.
Oh man, I really don't do general readings because my abilities on the psychic side are weak because I don't use them and haven't for years.
You have a specific question.
If you give me a specific question, I might be able to answer that. I've been known to do that very well.
Okay, that's fair.
But it was supposed to be the other girl that we just had on. Our guest was the one who did
Yeah,
the readings.
you got here a little late. So.
Yeah, you were a little late. She was the one who does the readings.
Sheldon,
Although
you want
I
to try
might
and
contact her.
Just
I
smoke
might
some
contact her.
weed. You'll be all right.
Just like some weed. You'll be all right.
Oh, you already got the perfect name.
General So's, yes, General So's chicken.
General So's chicken.
Well, so or maybe. Okay, well, apparently we're messing with somebody that does have a real question. I apologize.
Well, damn. Now we've been mean to people again.
We get trolls all the time.
Oh, sorry.
Look at that boy down there.
Okay. She wants to know if her dad is with her.
Not as of right now. No.
Okay.
Yeah, not right now. He's not.
Okay. Shelton, you got anything?
But they come and go. Like my mother does that. My mother will come, and she'll hang out for a little while and she'll leave, and I don't know where she goes or what she's doing, but probably pestering everybody else in the family. But she comes and goes.
Well, I mean, if you get to that stage, it seems like it would be great freedom. You could be, on the Pacific Coast for sunrise and the West Coast for, or the East Coast for dinner. It's kind of good.
I think they may give you signs that they're there.
Yeah.
Well, I think she would know if the dad was with her, like in her house. That's a different question.
Exactly.
Not always. Oh, you mean like?
Like, if my dad was here, my kids would be like going, "Granddaddy!"
I mean, spiritually, not right now. He's not.
Todd, he could have been in the recliner.
There's football on tonight.
There is?
Jacksonville State.
Hey, Kevin.
Oh, okay.
Kevin Stallings finally checking in an hour and 40 minutes late.
I know, right?
Was he the Tennessee fan you saw that was arrested? So.
Yeah, he was. They arrested him in Knoxville. He was up there. Some meth heads in Bowling Green ran into his car.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
He was in Kentucky for 15 minutes. Got hit by meth heads.
Oh my goodness.
My God.
Is he like a magnet or something for him?
He is. Grew up in East Tennessee, so he should be around meth heads.
Yeah.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
Where's the lie? Where's the fib?
All of us don't do meth.
They did.
The national bird of East Tennessee is the vape.
No, you do not.
I'm going to give you the national bird of Tennessee. Here we go.
Yeah.
That's about as many national championships as they have.
Hey.
Hey, I'm in Texas. Be careful.
More than Texas has.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't you start picking on Texas.
I can do
Well,
it. I
I'll
got
let
all
you
the
pick on the
stats.
I'll let you pick on the Cowgirls all you want.
Billy's like,
You live in
wait, I live in
East
East
Tennessee, Billy?
Tennessee.
They're not even.
Yes, he is.
Cowboys aren't even in the SEC.
Cowboys, who are those? Oh, you mean the Cowgirls? Okay, got you.
They ain't even in the Southeastern Conference. They don't even count.
Yeah, next year, then instead of the guys, they're just going to let the cheerleaders play football. They could probably do a better job.
Now I watch the NFL for that.
Yeah, right. They might even let them wear their
All of a
fancy
sudden, I
little
want to watch pro
uniforms.
ball.
Yeah.
I just like watching Red Zone now. So I mean, growing up in DC, I always watch the Redskins every Sunday. But since they're not on, I got the Falcons I'm stuck with here, and God forbid they play every damn Dallas game here in Atlanta. So I hate that with a bloody passion.
I want to
So
buy
I just
Shelton a
watch Red
football
Zone.
outfit.
Little
Uniform.
pads for him.
I think
I want to buy
Shelton would
Sheldon
look
some
really.
Hooters shorts.
What the hell, Bobby?
Little orange shorts.
Let's go back to the football suit.
Nope.
Football
I
suit.
want you to
Wear
bring me
that.
some chicken wings. Chop chop.
Get him those tight pants and get him a cup, and he'll just look
Chop.
like he's swanging
You're gonna
all,
get me
all
some
the time.
fake boobs too, right?
Fake boob.
You get some real
Well,
ones. You
why
carve
else
them out of
would you
wood.
go to Hooters and not have Hooters?
Oh Lord.
I do believe
Yeah.
the Cowgirls and the Patriots did tangle, and Bill Belichick lost. So he even pulled his
Oh.
quarterback.
Yeah. Well,
Did you know in 1998 the Patriots won against the Bills, and the Bills didn't even put their defense on the field?
What?
No, I did not.
It's
Wait.
called the Just Give It to Them.
Wow.
oh, they have that? So they all got paid really good for that, right?
Yeah, you should look it up. What happened was the Patriots came back, and there was a questionable call at the end that extended the drive and let them win the game.
God, you don't like mess.
Did you just see that?
Yes.
I told him earlier. No, you do not. Shut up.
Nut.
Do you want to hear the end of the story?
Yes,
I
I'm
did,
sorry.
yeah.
Go
There
ahead.
was a questionable reception at the end of the game. Did he drag his feet? Did he even catch it? And they gave it to him. And then 2 or 3 plays later, they scored after a penalty. The game ended on a penalty, so it can't end on a penalty. So the next play they scored, and after they scored, they lined up because now the rule is if they don't kick the extra point, if it doesn't affect the outcome of the game, if there's no time left. Back then they didn't, and so the Bills defense didn't even come out on the field. So the Patriots lined up and ran the play.
And
The kicker got the
wonder
ball
why.
with 2 points.
And people wonder why the football teams in Australia think that our football teams are a bunch of pussies.
What's in Australia? I don't understand.
Oh, they play
That ain't
without
nowhere near
pads.
Alabama.
Play rugby.
They
don't
pay
they?
with that. Well,
They could
They have
probably
a
beat
football.
Alabama. So.
they're big, stout guys. They wear no pads. They'll take a kick
They
right
have
in the
0
groin. They don't
SEC
care.
championships in Australia.
And they do wear little Hooter shorts when they do
hurt
it, Bobby.
each other.
Yep. And big socks.
They
Yeah.
also have the All Blacks.
That's one thing I never understood about college football is can't we afford to get some long pants for those fellas? I mean,
I
come
know.
on.
What the heck? They've outgrown them all.
That's from
God.
all the steroids.
But they're still wearing their Halloween costume from 3rd grade.
Hey, Kevin, I'm on the show. If I want to talk about kangaroos, I will. Shit.
Right. Don't upset her, Kevin. She'll use her psychic ability. So.
I might throw you across the room from here.
Somebody
Kevin,
said
you
I
wanna
could do
fly?
it.
I believe I could fly. And I was 5. I used to move cups and knock them over. What the
Do
hell
it,
is that?
Bobby. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
No, we promise not to.
I'm banned
Oh,
from doing that.
We have a
So.
ceasefire.
damn it.
We
Oh,
have a ceasefire.
I gotta hear it. I gotta hear it.
Because he'll pick this up on the,
But you
the
know what?
XMs or the XM.
What?
the,
look,
Spotify.
wait a minute. Hold off. What more can he do?
Nothing.
Bobby, hit it.
Okay. That'll be fine.
He's already coming after Bobby. So.
Yeah.
I just want to hear the voice. You don't have to
I'm
say
getting taken
anything.
out.
You know what? You need to make a character of just that voice. It doesn't have to be anything that.
Bucky's.
Yeah.
Bucky's, get out your Bucky. Let's see your
I'm
Bucky.
going to
Talk
Bucky's.
to us. Talk
I'm
to
gonna
us
drive.
with
I'm
your
gonna
Bucky.
drive up to Bucky's.
Y'all are just trying to coax this out of him. Well, I said privately, I'm all for a podcast war. So,
Oh my gosh, I like the voice. Okay, it's not the thing.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
what she
that.
said.
I
That's
have
why I
no
said
problem
give
with
the
it
voice
because you know what?
give the voice to your stuffed Bucky.
This show will be broadcast tomorrow in Belize.
Really?
I don't know why that
Belize?
matters, but it will
Where
be.
is that?
I don't believe you.
Hello,
I can't find it
Belizeans.
on a map.
Hello,
Hello,
Belizeans.
Belizeans.
So yes, tomorrow this show will be
Please,
broadcast in Belize.
I believe in you.
No, we can't offend our new listeners, so we will
No,
be.
I love it. I love
somebody
Belize. I would
explain
love
to
to
me.
go to Belize.
No, wait, that's Belize is in South America. Sorry, but right?
It's beautiful
Well,
there, though.
you know,
Yes. If
is
I was
it?
if I was in South America, that's where I would go instead of here.
Now I want some tacos.
If you were in South America, you could go anywhere instead of here.
I
I don't
know.
blame you.
My psychiatrist ran off to Costa Rica. I mean, I don't
you
know.
know, if I was gonna go somewhere, I'd go somewhere warm. That's crazy.
Like Jimmy Buffett.
That's right.
It's kind of cold
I
now.
gotta go where it's warm.
Billy Riley says, use your Marvin the Martian voice. There you go.
Marvin the Martian.
I haven't heard. That's an old cartoon. Billy, you're showing
I
your
like
age there.
Marvin. I like
love
Marvin.
Marvin Martian.
Marvin the Martian. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it's a little late in the show, and I should have already been doing this, but we're going to be on Yerg's Radio. We are on Yerg's Radio. Starting tomorrow, we'll be in a regular lineup. We will be transmitted in Greece and Belize within the next 48 hours through an agreement with something or another that I don't understand, but it'll happen. So, and then we will be around the world, I guess, literally, because we're going to be on the international station. So, and there's some other things in the near future that are kind of cool that are happening. So,
Yeah.
Very nice.
shout out to Yerg's Radio. You can find it. Go to live365.com and look for Yerg's, YERGZ Radio. You can find our show. There's other shows. Our friend of ours, My Two Dads, runs a great podcast, and he's
Your
over
two
there.
dads.
Your Two Dads. God, yeah, My Two Dads is a TV show.
Your two dads.
Now I'm gonna have the damn song stuck in my head now that I'm saying it.
I'm deathly obsessed with making that podcast a success, even though I have nothing to do with it. I just want to see it succeed.
Later, Billy.
Billy, thank you for being here. We're glad you're here. I know you got to get up
Thanks
and go
for
to
your
work early,
questions.
so we appreciate it. Some great questions tonight, Billy. Make sure to thumbs up, like, subscribe, and follow, share, and give us a hug while you're going out the door.
Good night, Billy.
Yeah,
Night, Billy. Night,
have,
Michelle.
We have a lot of good things coming up in the near future, so it's I'm not sure what some of the things I don't quite understand, but I was just told they're good. So
As long as they're good.
But you're right about making his podcast a success. He's a great guy. It's a great podcast. It's a great idea. I've actually already seen somebody trying to copy it. So
I think there's talent there that hasn't been realized.
yeah, I wish we could convince him about the paranormal world. He isn't that interested in it. So
If he ever pod fades, I'm calling him. I got dibs.
Wait, who?
Corey, he started my
Corey.
Big Brother. Good Lord, my Big Brother season with me.
Yeah.
Have you been following his social medias where he posts the clips?
Occasionally,
They've all been of me lately for like the last week and a half.
Oh no!
It's me talking epic smack about something.
Probably me.
About how I said The Goonies was a bad movie and nobody ever wants to admit it.
Oh my god!
Why would you say that?
Well, think about it. I'm going to ruin everybody's childhood here. The Goonies is a sequel to a movie they never made. What's a Goonie? Why is a Truffle Shuffle funny? It feels like Goonies is full of callbacks to something we don't know.
No, I don't agree.
What's a Goonie?
A
Yeah,
Goonie
you don't
is
know.
Yeah, I do know.
There's no backstory. There's zero backstory. Dude just shows up and a little fat kid dances. Why is he dancing? Why is it funny? We don't know why it's funny.
The Goonies were the little boys' clubs
Yeah, but why? We didn't know what Goonies never die. Why doesn't a Goonie ever die?
because they were because
you
they
don't
were
know.
stick together.
Goonie is a sequel to a movie they never made.
No, it
The
isn't.
Goonies movie you love is the Goonies 2, and you never saw Goonies 1.
Bull.
Go watch it. It doesn't make any sense.
It makes
Goonies
sense to
doesn't make
me.
a bit of sense.
Makes sense to me.
It
Can't
starts
argue.
off.
He's
It
actually
starts
made a
off
few
like we've known
movies.
these characters for 10 years.
What?
But they're
The,
only
Goonies,
12.
Goonies, the first 20 minutes, the Goonies is acting like it's a callback to characters we should have known for 10 years. We don't know them. Hey, do the truffle shuffle. Why? What's the truffle shuffle? What is it? Why is it funny? Why is this kid doing it?
It's somebody rooting around in the dirt looking for truffles
No, but why is it funny? Like, why does that
Truffle
particular kid do the truffle shuffle?
because he's they call him a pig. They think he's a fat pig.
Why
They
is
think
Josh
he's heavy.
Groban there?
Whoa.
I don't
What's
know.
Corey
about
Feldman
that.
doing out of jail?
Yeah, right.
Goonies is terrible, and you need to admit it.
Shelton? Do you
I
have an
thought it
opinion on
was
this?
too, Bobby. It's okay.
You know what else
I
is?
like
Smokey and the
Goonies.
Bandit's the same thing. Smokey
That
and
was
the
a
Bandit
horrible
starts
movie.
off, you get one Jerry Reed song, you're supposed to know everything about these characters.
Yeah.
I like
I
Smokey
can-
the Bandit.
Never
do.
seen it.
I've got it on tape and DVD.
How have you not seen Smokey and the Bandit?
And I've got the record I've got the big record to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
But every time I do my Goonies thing, I give myself credit by saying that Smokey and the Bandit's the same thing.
Smoking
So
the
Corey
Bandits,
Feldman
Goonies,
is in Knoxville?
It's like the red Smokey and the Bandit's the redneck
Really?
Goonies. Like there's no
Redneck Goonies.
no our
Okay.
town Huntsville.
Oh.
I thought he was in Knoxville. Sorry. My bad.
No, he's
Sorry,
here.
Kevin.
Ouch.
He lives just down the road from me.
It was Billy that said he lived in.
Yeah. Oh, Huntsville. Sorry,
The
Kevin.
Furniture Factory is a dive bar downtown
Oh.
that has they have the amateur wrestling on Sunday nights.
Oh.
Oh, I was thinking like it was the Big Lots of furniture. Never mind then.
No, it's like a bar, but they have like an outdoor area that they have it's big enough for like a band or a stage or a wrestling ring, and they have like an outdoor bar and outdoor restaurant. It's
You
like
talking about
trashy
restaurants?
nice. It's nice, but it's trashy.
Okay,
Like, yeah,
I
all
have
the-
to say this because Bobby wants to start talking about restaurants, so I'm really upset. You know, I ordered food tonight, and I ordered a cheesecake. And do you know what they sent me?
Not a
Tiramisu,
cheesecake.
not
Ugh.
a cheesecake. Tiramisu.
I don't
The
like
dogs
heck is
enjoyed it.
that?
I don't know
The
what that
dogs
is.
really.
Yeah, you stumped us.
It's
Tiramisu?
not good.
It's not
It's
real
not
good. It's
coffee.
yeah.
a
It's like a
not
what is
sweet.
it? It's a. I want to say French. No, is it a French dessert?
I think so. It's like it's a layered thing. It's got
Like
cake.
baklava?
no
No.
tiramisu or tiramisu.
And it's like got some layers of I don't even know what kind of maybe a plain white vanilla
plain
mousse
white.
type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then
And
it's got
cake.
these little rolls of cakes in them actually, and
Yeah.
then they cut them in squares, real
Right.
small squares.
No.
No, I
This
wish.
roll?
You know what? I wish I would have settled for a little Debbie's tonight
Yeah.
instead of the tiramisu.
Can't be
It
talking
tastes-
bad about the
That's
little
not
Debbie.
I would eat a zebra cake right now if I had it.
I got some
Ah.
zingers, y'all.
Oh,
The red
my
ones?
favorite.
Raspberry ones, yeah. I had to get some the other, and they are
That's it.
small. They're tiny now.
I told you.
I'm so mad.
Translation.
I've got to come up with some zingers to speak at that Bigfoot camp out on the Veterans
You
Day.
better get to getting.
You better get you.
I probably just
several
use my
boxes.
typical podcast spiel about how I started out with a scary book and worked my way back.
You
Yeah.
can tell them how you're a podcast legend
Yep,
in your own mind.
Yeah.
get in on the ground floor, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
To the moon.
I don't
You
do
gonna take your
speeches.
pumpkin? You take
Yeah.
your pumpkin with you? Hang
I
it
take
behind
it
you?
with me and make them think I'm autistic. Don't touch my pumpkin. Have you seen my pumpkin?
Oh, thank you. It is Italian. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's it. Italian.
Fragile.
Yes.
Fragile.
Fragile.
That's French.
Well, I'll tell you, it wasn't. Like I said, the dogs enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You gave the dogs chocolate?
Sure didn't like it.
They're going to
Doesn't
shit
have-
everywhere.
It doesn't have
Really
chocolate.
doesn't have chocolate.
It's more coffee-ish.
Yeah. but it's not
Well,
real coffee-ish. Coffee.
No.
Coffee. Yeah. Coffee. I don't know. How do you say it?
Cafe au lait.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't either. I just know that I was not impressed.
That's in the
I
import
was
aisle
really pissed.
at the grocery store.
Because see, the
Exactly.
tiramisu only cost like $4 and some odd cents, but my cheesecake, now on the other hand, cost $9. And I got
Oh,
charged for
Lord.
the cheesecake, and they put it in a thing for the
Did you
cheesecake.
call him?
But I opened it up, it was tiramisu. No, the last time I called them and bitch, they refunded the whole entire order, and I thought this time, yeah, I'll let
I'd
this
call 'em-
slide because it's only the dessert, it wasn't the food.
Call him, say, hey,
Yeah,
Hey,
I
bitch.
spent
that wasn't cheesecake.
$72
man.
on food, and you didn't give me my damn cheesecake. What's the matter with
Right.
you people?
Yeah,
Gave me
that would be upsetting.
tiramisu.
Wow. Yeah, I'd be a little upset about that. They don't happen to have a website where they post pictures of their patrons on there, do they? So
I would have taken a picture and taken my dog's head and just pushed it into the tiramisu and took a picture at the same time and said, "This is what you gave me, crap."
Yeah.
wow. So PETA will be it's at Brenda.
You like the raisin cakes? I don't like the raisin cakes that much.
I don't know one person that likes
No.
raisin cakes.
Well, Wendell does.
apparently.
He might not like
I
them.
like the
Most people that have raisin cakes have them because they can't eat them.
raisin cakes. Wait a minute. What are raisin
Well,
cakes?
They look like a
So
chocolate chip
wait, wait.
cookie with raisins on top and
Yeah.
the cream filled.
They've got that cream in them.
Oh, they're pretty good.
I don't think I've ever
You like
seen
them?
those.
Oh,
You have. You just didn't eat them because they're
yeah,
terrible.
they're bad.
Nah, they're good.
They're bad.
You don't have a
They're
taste bud.
good. Duh, everything's good.
I have a I have a booty pain.
Got this boob pain.
Booty pain.
Ow!
Do you have
That
one
was,
too?
No,
was-
I was
I was
making
gonna
see
say,
you.
JT, put that damn doll down and quit poking it with the needle.
That was Mary Jo Mom Shavowski. She's sending me some bad
Raisin
mojo.
cake.
That's me.
Raisin cakes and cider.
Raisin cakes and cider. What?
I think you have to take a shot for that. So
Oh,
Oh God.
Well, I got Bobby permission to come out on our top secret Bigfoot excursion at the 1st of November. So I hope he makes it out there. So
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make a effort. I need to.
where's that at?
it's in
It's top secret.
the location south of me. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
He's like it's
South of
top
you?
secret.
it's south of me too.
You almost told me, didn't you?
No. It's OPSEC. I sent him an email and I said, read that
They're
and then
really-
destroy it.
They're
OPSEC.
really good.
We know about OPSEC.
They're
I know
really
about
going to
OPSEC.
go check
I'll
out
take-
Elvis's house. That's what
Oh,
they're
they
doing.
probably are.
They're not going out in the woods. They're going to
Elvis's
go in
house.
Elvis's
I know,
house.
Todd.
I just hope the trails.
I know,
Have
I
you
was
ever
trying
been
to
out there
get you to
before?
Slip up.
Yes.
Can my truck make it without getting scratched up?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm worried about.
It's all
Of
you're
course
worried
it
about.
is.
You're not
Concrete
worried
when
about
you
being
pull in
attacked
through
by a
the
gay
gate.
Bigfoot or anything, but
I don't give a shit about being attacked. I don't want my truck scratched.
Bigfoot
you
might
can
scratch
explain
it.
to your wife if you're messed up, but the truck, no, hell no.
I love my truck. It's my
Opposite.
baby.
You going,
I
Todd?
love my truck.
Are you going, Todd? Todd, are you going too?
Well, Todd's in Oklahoma, so it's not really.
I'm thinking
close
about
to
coming.
Doubtful.
I'm thinking about coming out like Saturday afternoon and stay until or Friday afternoon and stay until Saturday.
Okay. So were you gonna sleep in your
Yeah.
truck?
I mean, I got a tent and stuff.
Okay.
I have things. I mean,
Okay.
I've never in my I've camped my whole life, but I've never slept well while camping. So I don't.
You don't ever
Just
sleep.
sleep in your
You don't
truck.
ever sleep well on a Bigfoot expedition because no matter what we do, something will be stirred up. You can it can guaranteed. Whether it's the spirits, whether it's the little people, whether it's a Bigfoot, whether it's the meth heads, we always get something stirred
Bobby,
up.
I have an extra bedside commode potty chair, brand new, still in the box. I can send. You could take it with you and put it in your tent, so
I'm not worried
You
about
know.
that. I'm worried about sleeping.
you don't have to go outside and get no tinkleberries tinkle in your tinkleberries.
I grew up in the woods, but just the sleeping out there, it's never been. I've always been a fan of coming home, even if I was drunk.
Somebody would have to go pee with me because I wouldn't go out in the woods by myself.
Well, there's going to be a few ladies on this adventure. So
Can we?
Oh, I'm not going.
Can
I
we
just
utilize our constitutional
just
rights on
saying.
this camp out, or we got to go?
Absolutely,
Utilize your
absolutely.
constitutional
We are
I have
pro
to use my
Second
judo
Amendment.
chop.
Yeah.
No, we are pro Second Amendment. So
I know we are, but I don't know if the place is.
once again,
Yeah.
Dina,
we had
make-
that was the
they
place
make
we
female
actually had
urinals
some
now,
guys
so-
checking out
Ah,
our
I've
campsite.
I've seen
Yeah.
those.
Then they
came
got
during
those
the
ones
day
you
and asked
put
for
in your
some
pants.
water, and
That's
then
like
they
pee
came,
Stand
in
up
and up.
piston.
they
Yeah.
came back
Sorry,
and asked for
guys.
something, and then we were like, okay, we know
think
you're
I'd
on to
probably
us,
still pee on
so we
myself.
set up. I could just put them backstage if they want
Lynn's
to
still
talk.
talking.
So it's just like to two women, just a
So am I.
just
Oh,
shut
sorry.
Don't make me get angry.
We did it on purpose, Glenn.
We did.
Go ahead.
So yeah, so that's the campsite where we did have some people check. They came back first asking for water, so we're like, okay, here, cool, some water. Then they came back through coming from the opposite direction and asked us for directions on how to get to where they just came from. And we're like, oh, we're not from around here, blah blah blah. They didn't realize that night that we had several members of three-letter agencies and several members from Special Forces. So the people from Special Forces set up a perimeter.
Oh.
They breached the perimeter about 3 a.m. and was met with several people with ARs. So yeah,
Good deal.
Why would you take them with you, Bigfoot hunting? That would just spoil everything.
No.
take the people that were trying to kill us or steal from us.
Well, no, but I mean, if you
These
got
are good
three-letter
guys.
agencies out there and they're setting up perimeters and Bigfoot comes in there, it's
See,
just gonna scare them away.
apparently you didn't listen to the whole story. We weren't worried about Bigfoot at that point. We were worried about the meth heads. So
Oh,
Bigfoot,
those.
yeah.
Ah,
See, if you were doing a little bit of this with your dick sucker and a little more of this.
A little more what?
well, look now.
boy.
If you
Make me-
just take
make me
you a
upset.
baggie full of salt and just toss it off into the woods, close the bag, they'll all think that's what it is and they'll go running. All you gotta do. Yeah. Laundry detergent, hell, make you
for
some
that. No,
Tide
they wanted. No,
Pods.
they wanted to steal our stuff. So,
Ah.
but they got to see what they get to see what they didn't get to see any of the other previous visits. So,
Good.
That's
yeah,
why
it was
you
funny.
take
I
a
knew
gun.
it was good. Do what?
I said that's why you take a gun.
Oh, we were heavily armed.
Okay.
So we were
All right.
heavily armed. So yeah, they didn't realize they crossed the perimeter. The lights went on them. And I just got my brand new fog lights for my Jeep, and so they were like, "Let me borrow your Jeep," because those things are as bright as the sun. And as soon as they crossed the perimeter, I had them on night vision. Yeah, we have that too. And they lit them up, and there was people on each side of the dirt road face down at them that they could suddenly see.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They got scared. They were like, "Oh, we just wanted some more water." And they're like, "No, this is what you're gonna do,
Yeah.
and this is how you're gonna do it. And I suggest you do it expediently."
And while you're at it,
He
yank
asked
your
the
pants,
area.
and
Yeah,
yank
they
your
were
pants
using
down to your
those-
ankles, hang onto your ankles, and start walking that away.
Well, I think one of the guys from one of the agencies said that they would never find them if they came back. So he said it in a very affirmative voice to me. Even being his friend was kind of concerned. Oh shit, I need to get out of this group. They're kind of nuts.
Ugh.
So yeah, you do run into crazy people in the woods. So, but taking a weapon out there and having into a Bigfoot camp, it's all about intent. If you go out there with intent you're going to kill one, then you probably won't see a Bigfoot.
I just want it for protection.
Yeah, that's all we do. Yeah.
I would
When
just
I
carry
first
like my
started
judge
going-
or something.
Well, I first started going, I carried a 410 shotgun until Georgia DNR got on me. Said, "Well, you could use that for hunting squirrel or something." I'm like, "Why the hell would I shoot a squirrel?" And so I stopped carrying it because it was
Was it a
convenient. I could just
shotgun?
throw it over my shoulder. Yeah, it was a little 410 shotgun. It wasn't a big thing. It
Oh.
held like 3 rounds maybe, and it
Oh.
was just and that's all I was using it for. So it was just snakes and 2-legged creatures. I wasn't worried about it, but
Yeah.
Georgia DNR was like, "No, you can't bring that in the woods unless you get a hunting license and it's out of season for whatever." I'm like, "Fuck."
Ah,
I don't know.
Meth heads
But
are
you can
better
carry a
than the
Glock?
Blair Witches.
Yes, you can carry a Glock. So, and then
Yeah.
that's when one of the guys from the camp come over and said, "Do you know you can hunt in Georgia with a 10mm? Here, let me show you." I was like, "Oh God, we're going to jail." So,
Nice.
but yeah. So I hope you do show up, Bobby. It'll be fun. We're not going to get too excited, but we've had kind of weird things happen out there, so you never know.
I'm more excited
Can't
about
bring-
meeting the folks, to be honest. Get some
Can't bring your
contact.
wife. Can't bring your
You
wife,
know-
and you can't bring your kids.
I'm not going to, but that's one thing. That's more what we really are doing. It's just more of a get together. So we're gonna, of course, we're out in the woods. That was the first time I actually heard probably the best scream was out there. The best scream I've heard so far has probably been out there. So yeah.
I hate that for your wife.
Yeah, she was having her own screams while I was out camping. So
I was just in the woods randomly. I heard the best scream.
Yeah, I did. All right, Bobby, what you got going on in the near future?
It's a haunted October. Every episode I'm doing now till the convention is going to be ghost, and then
Sweet.
I'm going to air my Waverly Hills special the Sunday before Halloween, and then re-air it on Halloween.
Sweet.
nice.
Cool. Well, Brenda,
Yo,
do you have anything going on?
Sad.
my dog's over in the bed snoring so loud I can hear him through my headset. I'm surprised
Oh,
you guys
goodness.
can't hear him.
All right. Well, no. Dina, you got
No.
anything?
I not really. Dina, what you got going on?
Let's see. Tomorrow tomorrow night we have the Big Brother podcast
Yep.
at 10 o'clock, 10:30
10:30.
Eastern Standard Time. Saturday night we will
Yeah,
have the Misfits.
Without Glenn.
What is that noise?
That's Bobby.
Is it?
Stop! I'm trying to talk.
That's
How's
his
it mean?
fish swimming around his head.
Oh, dang
What
fish.
does it mean? I'm not doing anything.
You can find me at
It's Glenathan Jackson.
Find me at Dina_K on Twitter, and that's about it.
All right. All right. Well, yes, as Dina said, you can find us tomorrow on the Big Brother show where we will be going over the live eviction. Who will it be? Felissa or Mimi?
Bye, Felicia.
Felicia.
I know.
Trying to get rid of Mimi.
I think they're trying to flip it right now. As we
Trying to
speak.
get rid of Mimi.
You know what? I will give them a free one. It's a twofer. Both of them can go.
You're
Maybe.
racist. You're racist.
That's racist.
No,
Yeah, you're
I'm not
racist.
being
And
racist.
you don't like the kale salad either. So, but and then Saturday you can catch the Misfits. We will be here 9 o'clock. And I've left Todd in charge since I'm going to go on vacation. So he's got y'all. And Dina, what topic did you pick?
We picked things people insert in orifices of their body
Well,
that
All
take
right.
them to the ER.
strange things that have to be removed from your orifices at the ER.
That'll work.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
All right. So Todd is in charge
Todd
of
says
wrestling.
butt
that,
stuff.
But stuff.
Todd is in charge of hurting the cats this
Hurting the
weekend.
cats.
So and then Monday, JT and Dina will be handling the Big Brother show while I'm gone, and then I'll be back on Wednesday for our next show.
Maybe.
So
If he's not back by the time the show starts, I have to call the FBI
Okay.
because his wife
That's
probably
true.
killed him
the cat probably did it.
with
so.
a bag of with a sock full of rocks.
Yeah, she's got what was it, kryptonite or whatever she was supposed to get.
Kryptonite.
So.
Kyanite.
Kyanite. I wrote it down. So, and then let's see. Next week, who do we have? I've already made the show up. Oh no, that's my hotel reservation.
Bobby's
Oh,
in the
that's
dark.
right. We have the directors and writers from a movie. It's a documentary of
Documentary.
firefighters and EMTs called Odd Hours, No Pay, Cool Hat. So it's going to teach the people about how poor they treat fire EMS in this country. So until then, I guess that's about it. I don't have any other things going on. I don't know if Token Muddle, we appreciate him joining in. He's going to learn how to herd y'all, and he's already talking to the boss and getting ideas. So be careful. I'm kind of concerned. So
we'll be good. We'll be good.
We will see.
We'll be good. I don't know if it will be good behavior. It will be good.
I don't believe that at all. So
I said we'll be good at what we're doing. We may not be on our best behavior.
If we have any problems, Glenn, we'll call you to bail us all out.
That's right.
I don't have any money, so
like, share, subscribe.
That's right. Everyone,
Absolutely.
please thumbs up. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check out Yerg's Radio on live365.com, and you'll be able to find us in the very near future. Tomorrow, we're in Belize and Greece somewhere. Don't ask me, I don't understand it.
Put some biscuits in some Greece.
Our voices will be there. I can't afford to go there.
We're going around the world, so we'll be across the world. I don't know. So.
Have a good night.
3, 2, 1, go.
Good night, everybody. We appreciate you being here. Like, follow,